One of the family.
You are. Well, hello everyone. Hello, we're here tonight or today, sorry, with a live stream, and I have my good friend Jed Rivero is back with me, and Jed, I always love having you so much on my live streams because you have such a wonderful visual, ability to look at things, and I think you and I. Yeah, I think you and I sort of agree on many
We
things, and
do, we
sometimes
do.
we don't, but that's cool too, right?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Frankenstein, which is this fabulous movie, and I know it's the holidays, but what better time to talk about a horror movie than during
Yeah.
the Christmas holidays?
Well, I was thinking it's a nice, like, gothic tale. You just
It
curl
is,
up by the
yeah,
fire and
for sure.
watch
It's
this.
very, yeah. It's funny. I just went, just as a very weird side note, my son is into this game called FNAF or Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
So we just went to see the sequel on the weekend. And I was just like, why are they releasing this in December? It was super strange. So, but all the fans that were there, it's done very well. It's
It
like
has done very
hugely
well.
popular.
Yes, that's Whitney
Yeah.
Adams doing that costume. And
Oh, Winnie
they
Adams.
just wrapped the
The
next one.
costumes are great.
Yeah. Yeah, they just wrapped the third one. So
I heard that,
stay tuned
yeah,
next
because
year.
they do so well. And it was really fun because Skeet Ulrich was in it. And
Yeah.
Scream fame. And then of course Matthew, you'll have to remind me,
Lillard.
Lillard is
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
They're both reunited from like Scream, so that was really fun.
yeah.
So Josh Hartnett, of course, from the Hunger Games, who we all love him.
Right, 100%.
So it wasn't terrible. I mean, I'm not I don't know anything about FNAF, but I was like, okay, I don't know. My kids loved it though.
Yeah, neither
So
do I. Right, but there's something about just the I guess it's like the sugar and the sour mixed together with, like, you want a little bit of Scream with your Christmas. It just helps
exactly,
it
for
go hand
sure.
in hand.
Yeah.
But this is
Well,
definitely my version of that. Like a little, yeah, the
yeah,
Gothic tale is great.
absolutely. And over the holidays, actually, we're going to do a big Lord of the Rings binge. We
Oh,
my husband and I have done that, but now my son wants to do it with us. So we're going to do a real fun, which is fantasy. So we're going to do that.
and then
But
where do you
before I,
start? Do you
we start at
do
the
the
beginning.
trilogy or
Yeah.
do you do the
Yeah. The
Hobbit?
trilogy. Yes. The
Okay,
original trilogy. Yes.
okay.
But before we get into all this, Jed, I haven't even asked you to introduce
Ah,
yourself in case anyone who doesn't know you. I mean, I know you now, but
yeah.
for everyone who doesn't know you, who are you? What are
Uh,
you all about?
yeah, general loudmouth, opinionator. I
No, you're
am
lovely.
I'm the costume department insider, I guess, for our show. We like to talk about
Yes.
movies, um, and wardrobe costuming through, I guess, a fan aspect, and then as a maker insider aspect, to get the two different sides of what goes into it.
Hmm. And
And so
I've been
that's
pushing for a while that I think you should go into design because you have such an amazing eye. And but you make a living doing this
I make a
in
living
this
doing
crazy
this
show business.
in the crazy show business world, yes. And so the goal is to design. But again, the more we talk about it, the better it's going to make me whenever the right project comes my way.
Absolutely. I love kind of actually even learning, not that I have an interest in it, but because my background is theater, but I love seeing the processes that these designers do. There's a lot of overlap. I noticed there's a lot
Truly.
of things that they do the same, because in a sense it has to be, things have to get onto the screen and
Right.
be shot. So they have to follow these things. And then some of them have different approaches. So that's kind of cool too. So now, the first thing before we get into this, I wanted to ask you, how did you watch Frankenstein? Did you watch it on Netflix? Were you able to go to the theater and see it?
Luckily, I was. I know it was a very limited run, but I wanted to see these costumes big and get really in there and immerse myself. And so I was able to see in the theater. It still was in the aspect ratio of a TV. It was a very small
Hmm.
theater, and it
Yeah.
was a very quiet theater. So I think I went in a matinee. So I really got to feel like it was a personal theater at that point, and then I watched it again at home. What about
Oh, okay.
you?
I watched it at home. I tried to get tickets at TIFF. Like I think I mentioned to you, I
Right.
went to TIFF in the fall and I couldn't get any. And then, yeah, I wasn't able. I was very sad because I was able to see Sinners in the theater, which was
Mhm.
wonderful to be able to see that. and then also see it on TV. But so yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have that experience, and I kind of am hoping maybe they will do another limited run on this because
Yeah.
I feel like it's really needs to be on the screen, the big screen, right?
Again, it's about if you make it into this like cozy gothic tale, then a home on your on your sofa under a blanket is kind of a way you want to see your
Yeah,
monster story. But this is a movie that is about its sets, and so it is big, in every ways that it can be. I also watched the documentary they did on Netflix paired with it, and so you get to see some of the sets that they built. From that perspective, it's just incredible. It was a huge production, and it makes me think of all of these the original Frankenstein movies and how it was these huge theatrical sets, and so experiencing it that way was um, I highly recommend it. I do also have a confession. I could not see in theaters Kiss the Spider Woman. Such a limited run. I've not seen that yet, so I just want to put a pin in that for us to talk about
oh,
later.
okay, sure, yeah. Well, I was going to tell you also, while I was at seeing FNAF, there was a trailer for a new Bride of Frankenstein. I think they call it
Right,
The
The
Bride or
Bride.
whatever.
Yeah,
So that's coming out too. So that looks very interesting. And
see what that take is
and
on everything.
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
so that'll be very very. It felt like it has like I believe it's one of the sorry, you'll have to correct me. It is Jake
Right.
Gyllenhaal's sister.
Maggie. Maggie's doing
Maggie
that one.
Gyllenhaal is the
Yeah.
director, but Jake is in it, and her husband is also in it, I believe. So, Stellan, is it Stellan?
The other one.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway, someone in the chat will have to tell me.
Peter.
Peter Skarsgård. One of them. Anyway, I know. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I noticed it because they've been married for years because
Yeah.
they were together. I think in the movie The Secretary or something like that.
I don't remember, but when they first got together, but yeah, they definitely been together
Peter,
for a
thank you, Peter. Hi, Angel Over, and welcome to everyone's coming in. So anyway,
Okay.
so now you're mentioning your experiences watching this movie. So what were your overall impressions before we get into the costumes? What'd you think of the movie?
I am someone who deeply appreciates everything that Guillermo del Toro does. It is not my world, so I love to visit it, but it's not a place I want to be forever. So
Or you wouldn't want to live
I
in the Pan Labyrinth world?
I would no. I'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
And so I like it's like I'm gonna say the grotesque where it pushes just slightly into that uncomfortable area, and it's also someone said to watch it as if it was a telenovela, and going into Guillermo knowing that you are getting a fable, you are getting that story, and so yeah, letting that wash over you was great. Um, Obviously, the costumes are amazing, and it just felt like they've developed. He and Kate Hawley developed such a communication and trust with each other. They can go in and create these worlds together that are absolutely um, all encompassing. Like it just feels so well rounded and so well thought out. I mean, I have a couple of rubs, which I'm sure we'll get to, but otherwise, I was able to go in and turn off the technical brain and
Yep.
really experience the story. What's your first
Now,
impression?
when you watch perfect. Now, when you watched it, did you think of Crimson Peak at all?
Oh, immediately.
Because
I mean,
yeah,
it's going to draw
yeah.
those comparisons too. One of my favorite directors is Pedro Almodovar. I think we've talked about this before.
Oh,
And learning through his work that he goes back to the same well so many times and tweaks and perfects. And we talked about my favorite designer, Milena Canonero.
oh,
It's
yeah.
never set. It's never done. You can always go back in and change it. And so it's quick to say we've seen this before in the work in Crimson Peak. We've seen it in Pinocchio, and now in Frankenstein. But I can't get enough of it. Like I'll take 10 more, please. If we get this kind of collaboration, this kind of kind of just joy of filmmaking and all the
Mhm.
different parts that go into it is really what I see. I see a love of old film when I watch Guillermo.
Now, what something I thought was really interesting, and I was kind of like, I try to stay away from the whole topic, but Kate Hawley worked on the Lord of the Rings,
Series.
this TV series. She did at least season one, and I remember a couple of years ago, I was on someone else's live stream, a much bigger YouTuber than me, and they were asking me about the costumes on it, and I said, "Well, I think the costumes are amazing. I mean, I love Kate Hawley. Pretty much have loved everything. There's only one costume she's ever done that I don't like."
Okay.
And that is like one that I can think
Will
of.
remain secret.
Uh,
Okay.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's only because it was like I felt it was like objectifying the character and stuff. Anyway,
Got it.
so I love the costumes, and people were like, "What are you talking about? The costumes are terrible." And so then I had people online like
Yeah.
asking me about the costumes. Can you do a review? And I'm like, no, I can't, because it's so toxic, that whole community, and I just don't want to get into it. Even though she did work on The Hobbit as well, I believe, with Peter Jackson, or maybe
I
she
think
didn't work
there.
on it.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
I think with any fandom, if we can narrow down on something, it's you don't want to give chum to the sharks. So
Mhm.
it's not what we're trying to do here.
No.
We're trying to celebrate what they were able to achieve, and I can't even imagine what it's like to design across 4 continents and how many ever cast members and all that stuff. It's you're also a victim to circumstance.
Mhm.
And one of the things watching the documentary part of Frankenstein on Netflix, they talk a lot about just surrendering to the movie, and the movie will make the movie it wants to make. And so they're saying if changes happen, it was meant to be. We're embracing it. This is what the movie has chosen,
Yeah.
which
That's actually a
definitely
very good
feels
way
like
of looking at it.
they've submitted to the film gods.
Yeah.
And
The
so
film
if
gods make the
yeah,
final decision. I sort of talk a little bit about that sometimes with directors, even like eventually they have to hand it over, right? They can't hold on to it and like, strangle it. They have to
yeah,
eventually just let it go,
right,
and then let it be out there in the
yeah,
world. And they can't constantly go back and like that's why one of the reasons why I'm not super crazy. I don't want to mention any names, but people who will take a property and then
yeah,
edit it and stuff. I'm
yeah.
not always super crazy about that. I know that sometimes the studios are funny and they, so if there's
Of
director's cut, I
course.
totally get that. But I don't like it when they go, "Oh, I didn't have the technology then, so now I want to add this in." I'm like, it's like, dude, put it out in the world. It's ours now. We own it,
It
in
is.
my
It
opinion.
is. It is. It is ours now, and that's
Yeah.
why the fandom can go a little bit crazy in places.
It can,
Um,
anyway, oh, it's
yeah,
okay.
but it is alchemy. That
Hmm.
is, and I think one of the marks of a good designer is that you have to prepare for everything, but then being able to surrender to the ultimate, and knowing when that line is, because you want to achieve greatness, right? You want to be able to do your best. You want people around you to do their best. And so knowing kind of when to hold them, when to fold them is
Hmm.
a big part of it. It's also a business. And so if it's going to affect your ability to get the next job, or it's also something to take into account, we don't always see. Hmm.
Now, one thing I'm really, really delighted about is that Kate is getting a lot of accolades. In fact,
Yeah.
she's even got she's got the historical people on board loving her stuff. She's got the, people like me who just love costumes,
Yeah.
people who are, like from cosplayers, like absolutely adore it. Of course, want to recreate her gorgeous
Yeah.
Mia Goth outfits. So, but I noticed that Crimson Peak didn't get the same kind of accolades. Is it just that she
No.
wasn't at that stage yet? Like she wasn't quite ready yet? Like, what do you think was going on there with
Oh, that
her?
is interesting. I don't, maybe,
Mhm.
I think we're at a time where the cosplay world is wider open, because I think at that
Mhm.
time, it wasn't that long ago, but it was very specific genres that were in that world. And now it was my first year at going to I went to Dragon Con this year,
Oh, you did?
and
Amazing. Tell me
it
about
was
that.
incredible. So seeing people dress up for everything, anyone that has ever existed is able, is a free game to dress up, and people will embrace the more obscure characters. So it's not just anime or superheroes, which I think is most people's concept of that. Um, so I think, so at least it wasn't on my radar then either, the, King stuff. And I think that Crimson Peak is for us. It is for the lovers. I
Yeah.
actually rewatched it after watching Frankenstein because it is, it's a gold standard. And so we're going back and see, and also a lot of snow. So I would highly recommend this as a Christmas movie.
Yes, absolutely. It is. The other thing that I notice is, and I noticed this in Kate's notes, because by the way, Kate is sharing so much of her process on Instagram, and I highly recommend following her. And actually, I do think that that does also add to, your, those who are voting for awards to be aware of you. And I think they are using that as well, as much as like they're being transparent and showing, like you say, how the sausage is made. But also, I noticed during like even the Emmy season, the designers who were more like showing their work on their Instagram tended to do much better than, say, those who are just like kind of calling it in a little bit, if I could say that.
It's a whole other job, right? It is campaigning.
Yeah.
But I would say even for passing fans or people who want to learn the craft, and having more appreciation for the craft, know what all goes into it. It is not just pointing to the pretty dress, on the rack and saying this is what Mia can wear for this. So, and then I think learning all the other jobs that go into designer. I think, for most of us, we get maybe a glimpse into how a fashion line is made. We see big name designers at the top and how they are celebrated as the designer of, whatever label. But then the reality of that is totally different. And it is the same in the costume world. While there is a head of the department, there's so many artisans and technicians and just hands that touch the stuff that goes on screen. And then I think for how she's able to hit that mark of pleasing so many people at one time, a common path. I don't know what to do. I know I can go in and do a lot of research and then sleep on it and then go in the next day and hit the ground running. And I think that she was able to go in and make things because she knows the history so well. She is an artist who knows her medium so well that when she's then out, because I think the directive from Guillermo was to not make a cookie cutter historical piece, right? He wanted to push it up. And so she was able to go and do that with the textiles.
Yeah, like that's the other thing. I think this is the other thing. This is a very good, important piece, is that her relationship with Guillermo is very solid. I mean, they've worked on multiple films together, and I think eventually they get that language. And it sounds like this is wonderful when a director has an absolute vision, because it says here that Guillermo had lived with Frankenstein for years, filling notebooks with drawings. So he himself is a very creative person, right?
Right.
And so to have a director that has such an incredible vision, and it sounds like even in the design, he directed her quite a bit. He was able to, he didn't just sort of say, okay, Kate, go ahead and here's the script and design it. He actually gave her quite a bit of information that he was looking for. And I think that collaboration can also really create a much more solid design, in my opinion, as opposed to a direct. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is sometimes nice when a director just says, there you go, I want to see what you come up with.
But then on the day, you have to trust me that it's going to be the best thing. So, nobody likes a line reading and nobody likes surprises. So it's a dance between those two things. Mm-hmm. And so I think the other side of it, her knowing him and that she can take this directive from him without it being condescending. Like, I think when the thing I read that he wanted Oscar Isaac to be like Mick Jagger, to be like the rock and roll guy to come into this. And she's able to turn that in and say, into his heels. And so to turn to him and say, that is not going to be, I'm not going to give you Mick Jagger, but I'm going to give you what you don't even know you want. right? And he comes away with, I mean, the hat and the gloves and I mean, the
Yes.
whole affect of it is the the way that she's able to meet him where he needs to be. He has a Frankenstein room, right, Guillermo del Toro. So I know that
Oh,
this
I
is
know.
somebody
It's amazing.
who has, although he's been with us a lot, he's not had to make these decisions that Kate would have to make, and so being able to go in and say, okay, now you have to put it in fabric. It has to be made real. This is the reality of it. Um, there was a lot of also I saw that he would just be looking at the boards all the time, and then it would speak to him and pull it out. So
Mm.
just I think being in proximity to each other, because I think a lot of times we
Mhm.
are very separate in our departments, and being involved with our department, production design and set design, and lighting, and to know that everyone is on the same page and that we're seeing everybody else's work as it evolves, and so no one is surprised on the day when someone shows up in a different color or a different look than they were expecting, and to get feedback all the time too. So it does seem like it is more of a family affair.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, and I've got some pictures here just to show as examples. So one of the things, like there's this really wonderful photo. You'll have to remind me the actress who's in Crimson Peak, but it looks like she's in a painting. You know, she's Mia Wachowski.
Was
Is
yeah
it?
was
Wiska.
there's a
Okay,
lot
you'll
of
have to
yeah.
correct. Sorry, everyone. Anyways, there's this one painting. She's wearing this beautiful golden dress with big,
Mm-hmm.
Lego mountain sleeves, and it's behind her, and she's got this black bow kind of hanging down and beautifully lit. And it looks like out of a painting. And I did notice that a lot of the looks of the show kind of feel like a bit like a painting. Like I
Yeah,
know they reference Caravaggio as an
yeah,
example. So, like for instance, here is a few examples, and these are probably actually these are still images. These aren't in the movie per se, but don't they look like a Renaissance painting to you?
absolutely. And there's so much
Yeah,
of this movie where the lighting is such a key part of it that we've not
yeah,
seen in a while. I think there's been such a talk of the flattening of film with digital and things being more
yeah,
on TV. So to see these high contrast things. Now, again, as a
yeah,
costume designer, am I loving the fact that I'm not seeing everything? No, but I know that it's worth it for the end result, the image that we're getting here. I mean, it's
yeah.
incredible.
Now, one thing I was going to tell you that this is just because I watched this movie with my husband Jack, and one of the things he said to me, for instance, regarding the monster, is he thought he was actually kind of almost too attractive. Does that make sense to you? Like, I know
Absolutely.
I mean, they didn't want to go with. I mean, actually, Jacob Elordi. Oh my lord,
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
seen Saltburn by any
Of
chance?
course, of
Oh,
course.
oh my god,
But it
that
wasn't until
guy.
this
He's
movie that I thought, like, okay, this is someone who is um, an actor. I mean, this is I think is the revelation of the whole movie is
yeah.
how
How
good
brilliant
he
he is.
is.
See, I have a
Because even
picture
Oscar
of
Isaac,
him.
I didn't feel was as dynamic as he normally is. I just think
Hmm.
he's a it was a hard role for anybody. I think it's because Victor goes from uh, the Mick Jagger to the disappointed dad real quick. So
He doesn't
I
even give
wish
him
there
a
was. They
chance.
didn't even give him a chance. And then you see this poor puppy dog face, and you're like, how could you be so mean?
Oh, here he is.
So
Here.
so he really embodies uh, the innocence in all this.
Mm.
Um, the I mean, I love the design. The the most I think uh, the first striking thing was just the proportions of this man. I mean, is he looked enormous on screen, um, and so this is the first really costume we're getting him in. um, I was very curious about the bandages being such a warm color when he's so
Hmm.
cool. That was the one thing that kind of stood out to me while I was watching it. It's a little too perfect, and the colors I didn't get the choice of the color
Yeah,
um,
it says
for
here
him. Yeah.
that um, the early clothing is supposed to look like Christ-like bandages.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, the loincloth when he's on the cross.
Yes, because I mean,
Is
he
that what you
is
mean?
right when he
And it's
gets
true. Oh, it is a
electrocuted.
Christmas movie. Oh, no, that would be
See,
Easter. That would be Easter at the wrong season.
we'll watch it again.
Yeah. But no, I know what you're saying, because I think because the idea is that the flesh is dead or whatever, or was
Yeah.
dead, so it's purpley.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
sure.
I don't know if that was made to have that contrast there to show how dead he
Mhm.
does look. But something
Yeah.
about this color here throws me off.
Sure. He does work it looks nice with the forest, though. Like,
Absolutely.
it's kind of in the
Absolutely.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does look pee-pee poo-poo stain.
One of the things I was kind of baffled at, and I don't know if this is in the original book, and someone can tell me, is that he is a supernatural creature.
I don't.
Like, I realize he's
Yeah.
supernatural, but I mean that
Yeah.
that he cannot be killed. And I was like, he's like a superhero, and I was like,
Yeah.
is that something that's in the original story? And I was confused by that, because that didn't make any sense to me. Now, I don't know, electrocuting someone and bringing them back to life doesn't really make sense.
Different
But
podcast.
anyway, I totally agree with that. Now, and then if you want to stay on the creature.
Yeah, let's go creature.
Yeah, so he then ends up with, so she says she wanted
he goes to a cemetery, right?
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of him here. Sorry, I had it. Well, I had this one here, as you saw. But as you mentioned, it's like you can barely see it. I think this is maybe one of the early pictures, and they didn't want to maybe give away too much. So here's one.
It's a beautiful shot of him.
Yeah. Here's one of him when he's, living in with that family. That storyline is so sad, though, which I know is from the book. It's really sad.
It felt like Roofman.
Yes, which by the way, I have that ready to watch, and I'm going to watch it because I was going to mention that Jed worked on Roofman. Or maybe if anyone's watching Pluribus,
Kate. Parallels.
Yeah, Pluribus, she's all by herself too. In Pluribus, here's a great shot. Actually, I love this one with him and the boat, which is called the Horizont.
Coruscant.
Horizont.
Oh.
Yeah, Horizont with an H. I know it sounds like Coruscant, though, doesn't it?
So this is really the piece of resistance.
He looks
for
like
him.
Ned Stark here.
He does look like a Stark. He's definitely telling you that winter is here. Winter has come.
King of the North.
He's the king of the North. Fine. I mean, what a more benevolent king. You see him. I think he's in is it the wolf hide that he's ripped apart and made into a pelt?
Yeah. Well, what's it say here? It says his first true garment is taken from a fallen soldier and becomes the second skin. And then the clothing evolves with care, warmth, and love. And so that's what Kate
we saw at the mill. So I think you see him in the it's like a military coat that he gets. It's shredded and ripped up. And then I know that she had, again, there's a big running thing with spines from this movie that's evolved from the Crimson Peak, at least as far as I know, the spine motif. So I know that they put a spine motif into the soldier's coat as if it had decomposed on him, or he decomposed in it.
Yeah.
And so then he puts it on, so it makes, even though he is dressed, it does make him, still more of an animal and still more of a vulnerable person. And then I think he goes
his
to
hair
the mill.
grows out too. Yeah.
I mean, what a lovely grow out. He has, the hair team on this. I mean, hair and makeup, I mean, just accolades all around.
Yeah.
But we do see him from his little sprouts in the beginning, and then he gets his lovely locks.
Shaves him I think Victor shaves him at the beginning, remember? Like he's actually, that's one thing he does do. I don't know why he wants to shave him.
It's this phallic thing that fathers and sons and the shaving. So we'll leave that there for someone else to discuss.
But I do love it. This is just giving to the cinematography, though, how beautiful this is.
It's
and I love the
beautiful.
rust. Yeah. On the
I mean,
fall.
all of it. Again, it's. I think here we see a good balance of the cool and the warm to give
Mhm.
to elevate each other. The opposing, but I want to say in the documentary they talked a lot about the North and the White being like limbo in between
Mhm.
death and life, um, and I think we're supposed to see more White in the captain's quarters, and then Kate presented these soldiers here, this navy, and this color here, which was lighter than they had expected, and it kind of played into this whole like frosted, frozen ice version of things, and so they really just embraced that. So it became, instead of a more light white, it became more of a frozen ice color,
Yeah.
and I think that is so much more harmonious, and it does make them feel like all these people are here in limbo together, um, and again, you're seeing this play out between the creature and Frankenstein uh, here on
And
on
actually,
there.
I mean, historically speaking, I mean that these ships becoming, ice locked are
Yeah,
based on history, like the Franklin expedition. Like, there's been actual situations where actually they made a series called The Terror, which is based on that
yeah, which I've
story.
heard
So
is pretty good.
I haven't seen it. Is it good?
I've heard it's a pretty good series. It's maybe a
Yeah,
little too much for me.
I
Um,
think they've added some supernatural
yeah,
elements to
which
it.
thank goodness, right? Because it's going to play with your
Mhm.
brain, and so it does help take this story into again to that kind of fabled world
Mhm.
where we're existing in life and death circumstances.
I do like also because, I haven't asked you this question yet. So we do have the storytelling aspect of this
Mhm.
that Guillermo just started to do these chapters. So we've got, from Victor's perspective versus the creature's perspective, and then I think this is an epilogue. There's a like what do they call it, prologue.
Prologue.
So how did you feel about how they did that, like getting their different
I,
perspectives?
Again, I understand that's one of the things that he brought to this story. I think dropping us in the beginning with those soldiers, it put us on the same playing field as them. Did I feel like we were immersed in that world? Um, because we don't like Victor, I don't want to spend any time with him.
Yeah.
So that was hard to see. If it had been more of the, I guess, the manic rise of Victor, we could have followed along and then transitioned.
Mhm.
Um, but again, he just was not someone worth hanging out with, and I'd rather spend more time with even the Mia character or the creature, even the Hollander, the uncle, played by Christoph
Uh,
Waltz.
Yes, here, he's right here. Well, it's funny because some people refer to him as a villain, and I'm like, is he a villain? Like, I think Victor's more the villain. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah. I think this is a person who wants to live forever, and he's rich, so that he's going to
Yeah.
invest in this. And this just seemed like this is the story that we're telling now with all of our billionaires trying to live forever and go to the moon. That this is the character we should be
You're using it.
examining more. Again, I think that he was oversimplified, and so if we had spent maybe more time with him and Victor, um, he becomes a surrogate father who believes in Victor, and then ultimately just wants to use him, right? So is the same. It's another version of the father that fails Victor, just like his own father
Yeah,
does.
I know.
So if you would see it from that aspect of villainy,
By the
um,
way, one thing I thought was really interesting is that in a few spots I've seen his character's name is actually Henrik.
okay,
Harland. But I've seen it mentioned that he is actually also called Igor. Isn't that interesting? Because he's like
okay,
the Frankenstein's assistant.
okay, I could see
Oh,
that.
he doesn't have the.
Maybe he would be the one who, after he fell from that tower,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has
they'd
a
bring him
hunchback
back.
after.
Uh, I thought they would be like his brother would be the Igor character, but yeah, I can see this too.
Yes. I just thought it
Um,
was interesting. Like, if you go on Wikipedia, for instance, and you click on his character's name, it takes you to the Igor page.
Funny. So he's
Yeah.
definitely the one who helped him set everything up and
Mhm.
facilitated him getting the bodies, which is a new I think aspect of everything. Um, And then we get to see this kind of world of a dandy.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh,
so
his
that's
costumes are
so
gorgeous.
that's the new character. Something that I think he brings to the table for us.
By the way, this stairwell, like I think Guillermo must just love grand
The
staircases
stairwells.
because again in Crimson Peak we've got it's always
Yeah,
like but with the twist of Guillermo del Toro's twist, which
yeah,
is that it's that this facility is completely gone to shit kind of thing. I feel
yeah.
like it's been
It's
it's
the rot
it,
on top
the
of it, and
rot,
it is
yes, but just
uh,
how gorgeous is this photo? I mean, really.
beautiful. And I think this was the same. They redressed this from being nice and clean to this,
Oh,
and
did they?
I think so, or vice versa. So
Yeah.
it's definitely. I mean, kudos to them. That is something I
There's this
definitely
other
admire.
picture of Victor that I love too, in the same, it's in the same, oh, sorry, this is upstairs. There's this one picture of him in his robe. Sorry if I can find it here.
The robe is incredible. You know how we love
Yeah,
our we love our housewear.
love our robes. So let me just go through that. Here it is.
Yeah.
And then again in the rot, like he's sitting it with all the moss and
Yeah.
everything, and then that beautiful robe and
He's
those
comfortable in it.
pants.
And this
Looks.
is, I think we talked, Guillermo talked a lot about the red and the green.
Hmm.
That the red is, I guess, his mother, and
Hmm.
what she brings. So I guess that would be life. Um, and then the nature and the green, which
And they're
Mia brings.
complementary colors,
Hmm.
the red and the
And that, I
green.
mean, really, this is like what I think he's based on so much of it. And to our eyes, maybe it can be a little garish. When we think of Christmas, it
Hmm.
goes to that really quickly. Even in my world, I try to stay away from it whenever I can. But then you have a sophisticated palette doing it. It's a miracle.
It's just absolutely stunning. And then, of course, Victor is constantly brooding. I do wonder, by the way, would he have been, I mean, he obviously was a happy child up until, his mother died. Well, mostly his father was pretty awful. But, and then of course it's like he's the older brother. So, William, his younger brother, doesn't get it as bad as him, which is, I'm the baby in the family. I know my brothers and sisters got it much, much worse than me. By the time I came along, my parents had totally mellowed out. So, you kind of know that.
Yeah.
So, so Victor has had all this on his shoulder, but I do wonder, like, if let's say Elizabeth had returned his affections, would things maybe have been a bit different for him, or is it because he felt so scorned, so unloved? If he
If you
maybe
want to
would
pick,
have been a different
I
person.
don't know, and that's part of why he doesn't
Hmm.
resonate with me as a character because,
Yeah.
he had a mean
Very.
dad. Boo-hoo. Uh, he had a mean dad. But
Yeah.
then he gets his
Charles
way.
Dance, though. Charles Dance is the meanest of mean dads.
Uh,
Like, seriously.
uh, truly.
Like, seriously. Like, that. By the way, isn't he like way too old to be married to Mia Goth?
This is one of the things that I think that it just makes it even more why she is so miserable.
Yeah.
Because honestly, she's miserable too. Like,
Yes.
he had a mean dad and a absent
An
mother or
unhappy mom.
unhappy mom. Um,
Mhm.
so if someone loved him, maybe he would be different, but he still rejects his work for no reason. It seems to me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was gonna.
Spoiler:
Yeah, I was gonna find a picture of.
the mother,
I.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. Here. So here. Okay. So I'm a total idiot. When I first saw this movie, I had no idea that Mia Goth was playing both roles. Because she
Um,
spoke French the whole time, and that was
and she's
apparently
behind
under the
she barely
yeah
speaks. I mean, she
veil
has
or
like five lines.
bonnet.
Then she has the veil. So
Yeah.
that no one's going to ding you for that one.
Okay,
I
good.
think it
Thank you.
was. I Again, I would have thought it was a waste of an actress if it wasn't Mia. Like
Mhm.
having her play
Hi,
that
Carla.
role um, helps tie it together a
Oh,
little bit
okay. I'm not
more.
the only one. Thank you,
Yeah.
Angel. She said the same thing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, see,
Hi,
that's good.
Carla.
But again, I think it's we didn't give enough attention to the mom to begin with.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I see that
It's
goes.
kind of interesting because it's a little bit Oedipus, right? Like
Oh
he
my
loves
gosh,
his
totally.
mother and wants
Yeah,
to marry her, kind of thing.
right.
wants
Right.
to
Which
marry
is,
her.
but
That
she's the one who
whole
gave him, I guess,
precedent.
gave him attention, and his dad didn't. So that's where he's
Yeah.
going
And
to credit.
there's the red we were mentioning that
Right.
she has that red color that then Victor, wears throughout.
Yeah, of
And then
course.
we also have the Christmas palette there. But again, so it's sort of a Christmas movie in a way. We can talk about it like
I
it's a
think,
Christmas
yeah,
movie.
it is a Christmas movie. Yeah, he makes a wish list. He gets what he wants. He doesn't want.
Exactly.
But here we can see the beautiful spine motif reiterated
Oh,
again in this
oh,
with these
amazing.
people. So absolutely
Yes.
amazing. And then we get to see how they played with the textiles. And so again, I think that like because they know their roadmap so well, they know their history so well, they're able to come in and play in a way that is evocative of the period and the emotions without being a carbon copy.
Mhm.
Um,
And one of the things, sorry, I'm just going to go off here. One thing I learned going to Kate Hawley's Instagram is how much they made a lot of the textiles, which it's interesting because just as somebody who reviews a lot of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon,
yeah,
that type of thing, though I know those fabrics are usually always bought just at local
yeah.
shops. They're just bought in stores off the rack, and people will sometimes be like, "Why does the fabric look so cheap?" And I'm like, "Well, it's bought probably their budget, they can't afford it." So in this
And
case,
the
they didn't
turnaround
make
time,
the turnaround time.
the
So
hands, yeah.
do you mind if I just dip into this a little bit
Please.
with the
I will
fabrics?
say,
Okay.
yeah, because one of my favorite things is the paper marbling.
Yes. Is it this one?
Beautiful.
Isn't that incredible? So so what she says about this is it's supposed to be cells, like a
Hmm.
like a because they call this, it's hand marbled velvet, and it's supposed to be cellular and beetle imagery embedded in the fabric. So this particular one, she calls it the cell dress. So it's actually looks like cells. So this is it blown up. And then I love they have these like pictures of the team like working on the fabrics. By the way, one of the things that really delighted me is she shouted out the Toronto team. Hello, I'm in
Yes.
Toronto, so of course I was just absolutely thrilled by that.
Yeah, represent the home team.
So these are a lot of additional steps that they have to do. And then this is the bodice, what it
Right,
ended
but
up
it's the only
looking
way you're
like.
going to be able to get
Mhm.
one of a kind thing is to make a one of a
Absolutely.
kind thing. I just can't even begin to. I mean, paper marbling is one of the first crafts I ever learned, and
Mhm.
because I'm not an artist, it's like, great. I know I can do these steps
Yeah.
and make something. So I absolutely love it. To do it on velvet, incredible. To do it in multiples and to know that you're going to have to recreate this and match a pattern, I can't even begin to think about how many samples they went through to get the right thing.
Mhm.
But again, it is the right choice. It's this mixture of the green, of the red, of the bugs, of the cells, of the under a microscope. It's just um, it's breathtaking to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then the other fabric, she doesn't have all the working of this fabric, but this fabric, which, this is
mhm.
probably everyone's sort of big standout piece. This is supposed to be malachite, which I was like, oh my God, because I was looking at it and I'm like, what? Like, I couldn't quite, I was like, is that supposed to be, organic in some
Yeah,
way? So I guess it's like, when you see malachite and it has all those different layers. I have a piece of the malachite.
it's gorgeous, and it's almost like a moire effect on it, and it's
Yeah.
which again is I think playing with the time period and what would be allowed and what would be um, uh, common to your eye, right?
Mhm.
You want to bump against the eye a little bit, right, to keep you intrigued. Um, so I think this is the most chic of all of them,
Oh,
which is probably
absolutely.
why it is the most.
And again, she's
Um,
wearing the red necklace with that,
Touch,
which
yeah, the
is,
coral there, and
yeah.
again, she's a different girl. She likes bugs, so we're seeing.
Hmm.
I just wish
Yeah.
she had more
The insects.
insects. I just wish she had more screen time. And then my favorite, I think there's a blue dress that she wears, where it's almost
Yes.
they've done it in layers of organza or tulle
Do I
to
have
make it
that
more
one
of a
here?
3D version.
For some reason, I
Trying
don't
to think.
have it, but
Okay, let's go
let
through
me
it.
just see if I can screen share it. Let me find it here. I know the one you're talking about. And I'll see if I can screen share it. I don't know what happened there. I thought I uploaded it, but
I think the technique on that one is really impressive.
Yeah.
That's one of those things too, is like, don't be afraid to go big with your ideas. And so instead of just having a little brooch or a little, something here that would be, no, she has a full on red blood cell dress and moth cape. This one.
Is this the one you mean?
I think when you see it, yeah, if we see it full, it's just the layers upon this one. It is the most like a watercolor of them all. And we're seeing her, I guess, maybe she's
Instagram.
Is she also like at her most coldest here to him, right? Because she's very standoffish.
Absolutely.
But again, it's a bold choice. I mean, the headdress, everything. I think the Tiffany necklace. It was a whole big tie-in with Tiffany.
Oh, yes. So here's the information. So it was inspired by Tiffany & Co. Archival scarab jewelry. So it's actually little like scarabs. Essential scarab motif. Oh, that's on the. I think there's a hand carved beetle on the cross, which I can show you in a moment too. But I'm just going to see if I can find another.
The red.
Let me just. Yeah, I'm going to just go to Kate's Instagram. Here's if I can find a full picture of this because I know she has some on there.
Yes, and find other brands to work with, like for this jewelry, is a whole other aspect of this business that is baffling too. But the tie-in here was, I think, so well done. I love some scarab jewelry.
I know, because it kind of it's got. Well, here's the. Let me show you. Actually, I'll probably get in trouble if I share this. Here, let me just share this with you all. I don't know if I'll get in trouble, but anyway, here's the video showing the scarabs. Do you see it all? Oh, maybe you don't see it. Hold on a second.
I can't see.
I'm going to stop the sharing, and then I'm trying to do tech on the fly, everybody. Okay, let me do
live streams are for.
Exactly. Oh, here it is. Okay. And share. Let me see if that works. There we go. So this is on Kate Hawley's Instagram. So you can see it's Tiffany & Co. So yeah, they had that partnering, but she was able to go into their archives and look at this like actual ancient artifacts. And then they were able to do, I guess it's from 1914. And then they were able to reproduce it. By the way, one thing that Kate Hawley does that you don't see a lot of designers do nowadays is she does most of her own designs. Have you noticed that? Like, a lot of times now they hire a concept artist. She is a beautiful artist as well. I don't see that as much nowadays. So that's sort of really nice to see. So I'm going to just
that's something I'm always enthralled of because I cannot communicate what's in my brain through my hand. So I'm a tactile person, so I can mix and mash things together. But
I'm going to see if I can find. I know there was a full head to toe of this costume, so I'm going to find that for you all. Let me find it here. Okay, here. I'm putting this on top of another one. Okay, so I know it was in here. So this is the malachite dress we were just chatting about, and then there's some. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. Oh. Do you see? So this is like an X-ray.
Oh,
that's why they have it in the back.
It's amazing.
So, incredible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a lot of people are wondering how that headpiece works. Like, I'm assuming it's on some kind of base, like these.
Or a comb in the back. Yeah, we don't get to see much of that, but I would assume it's a comb in the back that it goes into.
Yeah, but anyway, just absolutely gorgeous.
This reminded me of the Cinderella gown that.
It's worn it. Oh, is that the one? Is that the one with that British actress?
Lily
Allen?
No?
She's from Downton Abbey.
Yep.
I know who you mean. I know who you mean. Someone in the chat will let us know.
Yeah.
Call back to the ice? Yes, maybe.
You can see that.
Call back to the ice? Well, yeah. Well, and I mean, her demeanor is kind of cool here too, right?
She's very cool here, which is why I didn't know what to expect of this character when I first, because I think this is one of the first, the Cinderella live action. the first
There's
time we
the
get to see
bracelet, by the way.
her, beautiful. Um, so yeah, we don't know how to read her, and then maybe in the next one we see her in the when he tries to kiss her, is she in the red then?
Yeah.
That's gorgeous, like arsenic green.
Oh, yeah, and again, she's doing these, she's got the base fabric under there, which looks like the cell fabric again, and then she's done
Hmm.
an overlay to kind of,
Hmm.
so that's the other thing I love about her. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, look at this. That's one of the things I love about her. It's like it's never like, okay, that's good enough. Let's just stop. Lily James, thank you everybody. Thanks, Angel. Lily James, you're the best. Yeah, some designers, I don't want to say a lesser designer, maybe a less experienced designer will be like, okay, let's just stop here. Nope, not her. No, it still needs something.
Or I think get bogged down in the details. Like I was, like I was saying,
Yeah.
because it could have just been the jewelry and then the tiny trim, and then that's it. But here we're getting to see
Hmm.
where, even though that she is rich and contemporary, she still looks like she's in a shroud, like she is in a net all the time, like she is a bug herself, right? So
Absolutely.
that is a way to evoke emotion and not tell, right? Right, creating that environment for us to read ourselves.
So we were talking about, I just wanted to mention, because I have these pictures too that Kate shared on Instagram of the cross that she wears. She wears it, I was just mentioning she wears it in several scenes. So this is an example of something that Guillermo asked for. And I did notice she wore it quite a bit on that little coral bead
Yeah.
chain kind of thing. So it said he wanted that it felt personal and unconventional. So faith is revealed through nature. It's rooted in natural theology kind of thing because of her fascination. She reads. She's a well-educated woman.
She is.
But so it was inspired by archival scarab jewelry as well. Because if you zoom in, there's a little scarab there in the center of
Yeah.
it. And
It is
then they had
beautiful.
her. It's so gorgeous, and then you can see it's got the Tiffany and Co. Stamp on it, which it was made by them as well. And then they had her name written on the back, which is the same script that is Frankenstein. So I'm assuming then that is her handwriting from her journals.
From Mary Shelley.
From Mary Shelley. Oh, it's from Mary Shelley.
Yeah, I believe that's Mary Shelley's
Oh,
handwriting.
I didn't even know that. That's so cool.
I think I'm double checking on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, they tied in that way. But
Yes.
it's the beautiful patina.
And there she's wearing it there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely gorgeous. That's the wedding dress, which we'll get into. So again, absolutely beautiful. And then it ties into he has the visions of the like Madonna figure all in red in the blood, which I also love. Do you remember those? Or was like the full-on fantasy?
What scene was that? Sorry, you have to remind me.
I think it was like he has the visions of the woman and she's like all in red and like blood.
Oh, okay.
So it's tying a little bit of that aspect into it too.
Yes. Yeah. That red theme carries through. Now the other thing was that was on her Instagram is the shawl, which again feels very Crimson Peak, because if anyone's seen Crimson Peak, we've got the butterflies, we've got the moss that are all sort of like, and even the red is used there a lot. So there's this here. Let me find a picture of her wearing it. Here is here it is. Here she is wearing the shawl, and it's funny because when I first saw this, it kind of reminded me of a Rorschach ink blot, which I was just reading that apparently the first Rorschach ink blot most people do think is a moth or a butterfly.
Yeah, I think that's why I think they all are.
Yeah, so in this case, that's what it's supposed to be. Continue the theme of metamorphosis. It's supposed to be fractal patterns inspired by moth wings. And it's knitted with iridescent yarns with shifting tones. Actually, the pictures are really small here, and my vision's terrible. There you go. So those are the colors. Here's an example of one of her sketches, by the way.
Yeah, incredible.
Her sketches are just because I remember from Crimson Peak, some of her sketches.
And then to go for, I mean, how close is this to what actually was made up on camera? That's incredible.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because you can even see the gown there, right? Now, she
Mhm.
might have been modifying her sketches as she was going along too, but there's the shawl there.
Of
And again,
course.
you've got those two kind of complementary colors. And so I keep going back to this one. Here is actually, I think these are the patterns that they were working
Hmm.
with. So that's why I was saying it feels so Guillermo.
Absolutely. I'm not adding it to my cart, but I could see why
No.
it was added to theirs.
Yeah. And then here's some close-ups. So, it's all hand knotted, all hand,
Yeah, incredible.
that's a huge amount of work
Yeah.
to do that. So just absolutely stunning. Just checking on the comments here what people say. So Sledgy is saying, and she wonders if the creature has had his pure soul, but directly into a form bypassing his sin of Eden. The red angel creature who removes the mask to reveal a crimson skull.
Yeah.
And Moth seeks the light, seeks the flame, like Prometheus and Victor. Yes. Thanks for
Yep.
commenting. I'm not sure how to say your name, to be honest with you.
No, but that is a great parallel to the relationship that Mia and
Mm-hmm.
the creature develop, and it's actually
Now,
the audience, relationship with the creature.
now I've got a couple of pictures here. There's only two that she put up of her wedding gown. So here's the two that of her wedding gown. So we've got, by the way, the back of this is absolutely stunning. I can see why the historians would absolutely love it, because it's they've woven it, and then it's gonna. So I thought this. I mean, and you probably immediately saw this too, that this was a Bride of Frankenstein.
And that's why I
I'm
was
sure you
so
saw it
sad
right
we didn't
away.
get to see more of it. I
I
wanted
know, me
her to
too.
go full White of Frankenstein, and
Yeah.
I want to see more of the blood go through. Having it
Mm-hmm.
be the underlay to this is, again, it carries through the whole thing, which is so beautifully done. So organic, so structured, absolutely beautiful. I do feel like again, that's the same motif with the spine, with the bandages in the arms, tying it all together. Um,
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
wish
And
we could have.
even what Hollywood's vision of the Bride of Frankenstein is, right? She
Indeed.
has the bandages wrapped around her arms and that kind of thing. So it said here that they rejected. By the way, one of the things I don't know if a lot of people have been commenting on, they did change the time period. So originally it said in the 18th century, but they moved it to the 1850s approximately. I mean, except for the mom, like the flashback, that would have been earlier
Right.
because we've got that sort of empire waistline sort of
Right.
silhouette. But they did say in Kate's notes that they did reject the sort of traditional Victorian bride, which I mean, I'm always like, well, brides don't technically really wear white anyway in the Victorian era. It's very rare. Everyone thinks they did, but so it says here that I lost it again. So they reframed her as the Bride of Frankenstein, which we just said, inspired by historical ribbon bodices. So you can see that bodice there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen actually corsets too, ribbon corselets. If you go to
Well, it's
say,
almost like, I guess, it's kind of what it is in the back, right? Because it's
yeah,
just a modified version where you could see it pins in the front above the
yeah,
bust,
but at
at
the
the
back
bust point,
there, it's like,
open, and then the ribbons are there. I
and on
do
the
wish maybe
arms.
it had, like, maybe it had saturated the ribbon, like the underpart, a little bit more to have more of a contrast through that.
Mhm.
Um, but I just love the effect on the skirt so much.
Yeah, it says there were 6 layers in total, and the sheer outer layer reads like an X-ray. That's sort of what you
Absolutely.
were mentioning earlier too.
Right, and to me, it just like it's like like the mesh of the net for catching bugs, and then
Mhm. Oh yeah.
the blankets over the furniture and the dusty
Mhm.
Gothic mansion. Like it's all of like part and parcel of what we think of when we think of the mad woman in the attic, or
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Lady
then
Havoc.
I love that her hair is down. Like she doesn't have her hair like her
No,
hair is it felt very there's that particular artist from like the, that would draw models with their hair always done. I mean, women would have probably have had quite long hair. So I
Long hair
did
for
love
sure, and
that
this
too.
makes her. I guess it does read more juvenile, right? This is just her
Hmm.
virginal wedding dress, and then
Yeah.
this to me was how I thought it would go wild whenever she was being dragged around, but um, I
Hmm.
I think we also go back to the white here where we talk about life and death in this liminal space. And so she's now kind of having to be put in this crossroads.
Oh, did I say your name properly? Oh, wonderful. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie's here. I was going to say, by the way, the brooches that she's wearing on the dress here, they look like dragons. What do you think those are?
I thought so too. And
Hmm.
again, and the chain, does it go across? Um,
I think
didn't
so. Yeah.
understand that one as well, but here for it.
I wonder if it's sort of like, because I know in like, so for instance, another Gothic piece, which is Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
And Dracula really is like translation of the dragon. So there's
Yeah,
like, if you watch Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, there's a lot of dragon motifs. So I'm just
yeah.
wondering if maybe there was some kind of significance to this, but it looks like, yeah. So in Viking jewelry, they always had like two brooches and then a chain in between kind of thing.
Love
So
it.
I don't know anything about it, but it's very interesting. Yes, thanks, Toddle. Toddle says, bravo to Kate Hawley. The costuming for Frankenstein was flawless, exquisite, up close at the London exhibition. I'm so glad you got to go see it. And
Yes,
jealous.
I'm jealous too.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm always jealous of
it
people.
also does feel like ceremonial. It does feel like it makes it something
Hmm.
important for this, and maybe we'll be seeing it soon on the House of the Dragon. We'll do
Yeah,
that show.
for sure. Now, who else we haven't talked about William at all. And, I was mentioning to you earlier that he feels like, he kind of missed out on all the abuse and the lack of love and warmth in a family, and he got sort of the best part of things. What do you think of his costumes in contrast? He's so sumptuous. Like
I mean,
he's
he really is. I think that we kind of pity him because he's really putting up with a lot.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm. But you have to see why she would want to marry him to begin with, I guess. So he still has to be the intriguing figure. He can't be something we're rooting for her to leave.
Well, I think by this sort of
We're
based
done.
on this time period, he would be considered quite handsome.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And more of a
And
match for her.
exactly. And it's funny because, we were talking about how they, I think that Oscar Isaac is very handsome, but and even though they did give him a heel, he did always feel, probably because of Jacob Elordi, just kind of small. Like, did you
Right.
find he kind of felt small a lot of the time,
Right. And
though
that
he had
kind
those
of, it
heels?
just plays into that um, belligerent child,
Yeah.
aspect of it. Again, the
So,
gloves
and
are
he's
my favorite
also,
part here.
yeah, I know, but well, the red gloves are so
I mean,
great,
yeah,
though,
they're
right?
carrying over the red. I mean, and the red, and it kind of reminds me of.
I feel bad for that background person
Hopefully, that was
who
a
had to have their
prop.
bottom part of their leg sawed off. That would suck, right? I'm seriously,
Hopefully,
that leg
they
looks
got.
super real.
It does look super real, but they did some pretty good work on the show. Like
Oh, totally.
um, yeah, there's something hacking into it there.
Yeah.
The red gloves, it reminded me of the white shoes on what's the TV show called? The
The Red Shoe Diaries?
Nope.
Sorry, which
Oh,
show?
too late, too early. We're going to
No, sorry. What was the
the
thing, the prop
the
you were
white
mentioning?
shoes on the medical show.
Okay, someone in the chat let us know.
Yeah, medical show, turn of the century, the Nick. There you go.
Oh, the Nick.
The
Yes, I
Nick.
only watched like one or two episodes of that.
I
It
think
was
you
a
would
little
like
bit
it.
too much for me. It was
Okay.
too much for me.
Okay.
I
It's
don't normally like
definitely
watching. I can't watch surgery. I just,
yeah,
this
it's
was
a lot.
fine. I guess I was okay with it because it was supernatural, but
Right.
that was just crazy, that show. The first episode alone, I was like, okay, I think I have to be out of here.
Yeah. It was definitely a drug fueled
Mhm.
show, but beautiful costumes. I think that
Oh yeah,
was
absolutely.
Alan Rosnick.
This,
Maybe
by
did
the way,
this.
this whole scene, aside from Elizabeth's beautiful, gorgeous wedding gown, this whole scene was just completely so like all of the cast, all of the actors. Like I think Frederick, or sorry, I think Victor's wearing a red coat in this. I did have a picture of him. Where is he here? No, this is them at another scene. Victor, nope. Where are you, Victor? There's one where he's wearing a beautiful red jacket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the rock
And
and
I think
roll.
the rock and roll, yes. Is it this one? Oh, there it is. Yes. The was he Keith Richards? No, sorry, he's Mick Jagger.
It's a Mick Jagger.
Keith Richards is that other one, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, he's
Johnny
Igor now.
Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, for Kate's notes about Victor, it says Victor's portrayed as a dandy, an artist, and a mad genius. And then the costume evolves to show his physical toll, the blood, the acid, and the sweat. So, like, this picture, for instance, here, he's just like full on raging mad scientist.
Yeah.
By the way, when you saw that giant
end.
hole in the floor, did you be like, okay, this is going to get used?
I thought, what in the Willy Wonka is going to happen here?
I know. It's just like, okay, someone's going to fall in that giant hole. Like, that's not going to end well for someone.
And this is just a bad design. Like, I don't know who is walking across this floor.
It's terrible.
Terrifying.
I know. It's like, that's not safe for conditions.
No, where's OSHA? Yeah,
exactly,
not good.
OSHA.
That was not good.
Absolutely.
Knew it was going to be used. But then we see him at the end, and he's on the boat, and he has like no leg, and he's like really eaten up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of destruction that happens in the
someone who lives in Canada and not even that far north, I'm like, dude, you do not want to go up that far north.
No.
That is crazy. That was a little bit like a reverse walk for Elf. An Elf, he starts at the North Pole and walks all the way to New York City. That was a reverse. Well,
he was looking for his father, and he was trying to get away from his son. So I guess that's how it works.
Absolutely. So before we wrap everything up, the funnel floor. That was just, it was kind of crazy.
Oompa Loompas to come out and sing a song about it.
Slucky is saying he's the same color as Victor's prosthetic leg. Are you talking about the creature? Is the creature the same color?
To look at the leg.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I'm kind of happy. By the way, how did you feel about the ending?
I
don't know if that's the book ending as well. Like I was kind of curious.
I don't know. To be honest. Again, I don't know where else it was going to go. What about you?
I was kind of happy with it. Because I think normally it would be that the creature would die. And I'm giving away. Hopefully everyone's seen this. They're here. And so it was sort of nice that he didn't, and that, we don't know what happened to him. I mean, he could eventually have died. He's just out there, but he survived all that time in that giant coat. Yes, exactly. OSHA's here, not here. That giant cloak that he was wearing that looked pretty warm. And also he's invincible, right? So,
I think he's okay. I don't think he needs the coat. I think he just likes the coat.
It's possible maybe he was becoming more alive.
I hope he was. But I also hope that he gets his bride. So I want a sequel with me.
Yep.
Yeah, and they go live in the mill.
Not one he has to take, but one that he can actually, she'll come to love him.
Yeah.
Because in the new one that we're mentioning, the bride or whatever, she's not wanting that, right?
That's the
story that happens. No, she's like, no, I don't want you.
No.
And that's played by who's the actor who's playing Frankenstein in that one?
It's Jessie Buckley is the bride.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He plays Frankenstein. And a totally different approach. By the way, the other thing is, one of the things I did think was a little bit weird, I know you had a couple of quibbles, is that we were talking about how I thought Jacob Elordi was almost a bit too handsome in a way to be the creature. But there's one scene where he's in the woods and they're shooting at him, and I'm like, but he doesn't look like a freak or anything. Like he's covered. So I thought that was kind of weird that they would just start shooting at him like that.
Well, was he in America by
Silver
then? I don't know.
Well, this is when he right before he ends up with the blind gentleman, who's by the way played by the actor who's a really bad guy in Game of Thrones.
I know, so redeeming, right?
Yeah. So we got like
Walter
you know,
Frey? Is that Mr. Frey?
Papa Lannister, and then and then we got the Frey guy, the bad Frey guy who ends up in a Frey pie.
That's him.
Does he end up in a Frey pie? No, he eats the Frey pie.
He eats the Frey pie. Spoilers for Game of Thrones.
Yes. It's been a couple of years. Hopefully everyone's seen it by now. But I have one picture of him here. They just call him the blind. There he is. You can barely see him. But that's a beautiful. That's shot. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This looks like something out of Lord of the Rings, by the way.
Truly,
Looks like very magical.
Yeah. Was it shot in Scotland? Where was it shot?
I don't know where it was shot. You were saying, I thought that. Well, I mean, I know, like I said, some of it. That there was a team in Toronto, so some of it must have been shot in Toronto.
I know that during maybe some of the stage work was done in Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
About the exteriors.
Because Crimson Peak was shot here as well. Like I know the interior of the house and everything was shot here. There's something about Toronto that Guillermo likes. He just got the key to the city. Our mayor gave him the key to the city because they love him so much.
I would too.
Spoiler for the bad season. Yes, I'm not going to spoil you on the plot, but don't watch that one. Anyway, so Jed, are any final thoughts that you have on? I think we've gone through most of the costumes.
Yes, I would say see it in the theater if you can. Mm-hmm. And I would say I hope it does tour. I love to see costumes in person more. So I think that's an exciting thing to ties in. And hopefully this is the kind of content that we'll get from Netflix with the Warner Brothers merger and all that stuff people are worried about.
Yes. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, like everybody is. It's we're wary of people getting too big for their britches, as my mom would say. So I'm currently working for Netflix. They're a great company. But again, we want to see things in the theater, and we want to experience it in a authentic way that is not stealing our personal data. So if they can do a tour of these costumes,
it'd be absolutely amazing. By the way, speaking of Netflix, I did get to see Hedda in the theater. It was absolutely incredible. But if anyone has Netflix, I would definitely check out Hedda. I interviewed the costume designer for it, so highly recommend that.
It's Tessa Thompson, and
Tessa Thompson stars in it. Yes, so good.
It's on my Christmas wish list or watch list. What is what is your Christmas watch list? Do you have one? Well,
The Roof Man. I have that on my list. You know what I did watch? I just watched Die Hard. It is a Christmas movie. So I watched it with my kids. And we always watch Elf every year. We watch Elf, and I actually did a review of the costumes, which I love them so much. But what was the other movie we had? Is
it a traditional movie, or is this a movie that you want to watch?
There's one that I want to watch, but what is it? It just came up, and it's like 2.5 hours. So I was like, okay, I'm going to wait on that one. I can't remember which one it is, but I have The Roof Man, which is a comedy, so I'm definitely going to watch that. I always have my husband makes like a little watch list for us, so we're like,
good.
If we don't have a lot of time, we'll watch like a TV show. But if we have some time, I just watched the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie though, which is amazing.
Yeah, One Day After Another.
It's Paul Thomas Anderson, I believe. Yeah. Yes.
Colleen Atwood.
Recommend that.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. She did the costumes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, she had a really good year.
She's like super busy.
Super busy.
She's she's probably the same age as Donald Trump, isn't she? She's up there.
A lot healthier. A lot more positive.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, absolutely. No, but I mean, some of these designers, like I just interviewed this one designer, and I'm like, she's probably retirement age and she's still working. Some of these designers.
Anne Roth is still designing.
Yeah,
It's just
Ellen Moroshnik
Ellen
is just
Marosnik,
doing
show designing.
The Odyssey,
Yes.
and
Beautiful work. Lovely gowns. Love it.
in the Odyssey,
I love it.
it's Roman, I think.
It is,
Or
but
Greek.
I came into this kind of through Latin class. I don't know if I told you
Oh,
this
okay.
before. When I was in high
Yes.
school, because I was failing Latin because I did not care about Latin, and my teacher was a theater nerd, and there was a costume contest as you could enter, and so I would enter this costume contest and win, and get extra credit points. So it's the only way I passed
Wow,
school
that's
was
amazing. I love it.
making my togas and costumes that way.
I love
Um,
it.
so
I
I'm
did a
really into it.
recreation toga. I did a recreation toga or himation because it was Greek, and
Animation.
I did all the. I dyed it. I did all the motifs on it. I
Yes.
cut it and draped it myself. Yeah, I made one, and then I even wore it. Like I put on marble makeup and everything because I was doing a makeup class at the same time, so I
Interesting.
looked like a statue.
Yeah.
By the way, so Slushy is asking, or Slucky is asking about Bruce Willis's vest. Do you mean his singlet, like the ribbed white singlet that ends up being
And
completely trashed by the end? By the way, I was saying that during the movie. I'm like, okay, he looks like he's been wearing that vest for 40 years, not a day. It was the breakdown on it was a little bit crazy. Like I think they went a little bit too far. That's my humble opinion. That was my only critique of the movie. I love the
okay.
80s
So
fashions
it's
though.
yeah. Speaking
The
of
80s stuff,
so
big
80s,
thumbs up.
I rewatched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for
Oh,
Thanksgiving this year.
oh, so good.
Nothing is broken down on that one.
No, it's all brain spanking new from like Zellers. Or you don't have Zellers.
We don't
Sorry.
have those. There's
Kmart.
one point like right he rips off like the whole plot point is he rips his coat and then the next thing he's just
Yeah.
wearing the coat again and it's like fresh
Yeah.
and new.
I know.
So
I know. They
sometimes continuity matters, sometimes it
Yeah,
doesn't. Just
I guess
enjoy the
people, you
film.
know what, to be honest with you, I didn't even notice that when I watched it because I was just, I guess I was not like, especially if it's a contemporary show, you would be better at that than me. But oftentimes when I'm watching a contemporary show, I don't really notice it. But if I'm watching a historical show, I definitely notice it because it's just like you're walking and your hems are perfectly clean and
Yeah,
there's no
yeah,
mud and
yeah.
um.
But it
What about
also is
you? Is there
surprising
anything?
sometimes like how much it takes to show on camera. Like
Oh,
sometimes you have
yeah.
to go big and almost do
Yes.
theatrical makeup for it to read, and sometimes it'll pick up the smallest thing. So
Mhm.
again, part of being good is knowing what's
So I
gonna.
think that's what happened with Bruce Willis's vest, by the way, and the quality of the rip that I watched was not very good.
Oh.
It was like it hadn't been remastered because my son was like, "Why does it look like?" What did he say? It looked like it was like there was a haze on it.
Uh-huh.
It does start at dusk, like it's sort of like from dusk till dawn kind of a story.
Yeah.
So the sun is going down. He's like, "Why does it look like
And it's
there's
the
like a
80s.
haze?"
Yeah, no,
And I
some
said, "That,
movies
honey,
look like the 80s.
that's the 80s haze."
I remember
That's
very
the
specifically asking
smog
my
in LA.
teacher why all BBC shows look like that. Like, why do they all look so hazy?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just England. Like, you're just
That's just
outside.
I know. I know. But anyway, what about you, Jed? Is there anything that you're planning on watching over the
Oh,
holidays or
um,
I mean, we were talking about Stranger Things. Like you're gonna
yes,
have you seen any of
I've
that?
been rewatching Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I've made my way through that, and now I've just started watching. Actually, I just finished last night, so I'm up to date. Can't wait till Christmas. I'm gonna rewatch that.
Me too.
It just a big thumbs up to that whole team.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's a lot of work I know that goes into that show, and it's pretty
Yeah,
flawless.
Vecna is the creature design on that is I know it's not a costume thing, but the creature design on that is incredible.
Incredible.
So
So
highly recommend
scary, so
anybody.
scary. But to have something that's
Yeah.
like basically an amalgamation of so many different 80s, it's almost like a encapsulation of the 80s with all the different
Mhm.
genres. Um, it's the same in the clothes. Like everyone's getting this unique piece of 80s fad that they get to carry with them. There's so
Mhm.
much layering and texture in there. It's a really beautiful show to watch. I'm excited to watch the new Knives Out.
Oh yes, that's what the show was that I was going to watch.
Good. Yeah,
Sorry, it's 2.5 hours. So I was just like, we were looking at it, and I'm like, oh, the new
I'm
Knives
committing to
Out.
that.
So I'll probably watch that tonight.
I think I'm gonna do the same. So we'll get back to other unprepared
Yes.
notes. My kind of traditional holiday movies I like to watch. I like to watch Little Women, the
Oh yeah. Which one
97
though?
version, 96,
Yeah.
97 version.
Yes.
That's my favorite. I
Is that the
mean,
one with Winona Ryder?
with Winona Ryder, speaking of Stranger Things,
Yeah.
and Susan Sarandon as Marmee. I
Oh,
mean, it is
she's smarmy.
just
Yes. So
so
good.
good. So I'm gonna watch. That's one of my go-to Christmas
Hmm.
movies. And A Long
We
Kiss
always watch The
Goodnight.
Grinch on Christmas Eve. The Grinch we always have to watch,
Grinch is a
like the
classic.
animated one. Yeah, the
Even
Boris
even the
Karloff
one
one.
with the live one is so
The
amazing.
live one's great. It's so fun with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Lots of good, but we do Elf every year. Actually, tonight we're going to watch. I know this is animated, but we watch every year. We watch Mary Madagascar or the Penguins Christmas Caper, which is so fun. Like with Mrs. Chew. I don't know if you guys know this. She's like,
No.
it's the penguins. They have to go rescue one of the other penguins. And there's this woman, this crazy old lady. She's got this dog named Mr. Chew. So
Chaos
it's
ensues.
very funny. Yeah, it's Ben Stiller. You know that group of people are in it. Oh, Anne Shirley anime. No, I've never seen the Anne Shirley anime. I watch it on
Hi, anime.
Hi Anime. Hi Anime. Is that a network?
Sounds like it.
Well, I love Anne with an E, the TV series. I watched all of it, and I interviewed the costume designer, and
You've
she's
been very
amazing.
busy with interviewing.
I've had such a great year this year. I don't know what happened. Someone just emailed. It was weird because I was mentioning Hedda, which is lovely. And I posted something online and I said, oh, I absolutely love the costumes, which is how I met Anne from Anne with an E, the designer. And anyway, so I posted about the designs and I love them. And then I got an email saying, hey, would you like to interview the costume designer of Hedda? And I said, sure. And then so during the interview, I said, oh, you must have saw my Instagram post. She says, no, I didn't see your post. I'm like, oh, I thought that's why you contacted me. So it just was a coincidence. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, but also what's been so nice is I've been meeting some like new up and coming designers, which is amazing. Like I interviewed this designer for The Man in My Basement, and I don't want to say new, she's been established for a while, but she's a younger designer, you know? And Willem Dafoe was in the movie. And that was sort of a slightly creepy Halloween type creepy movie. And so it was so great to meet her and just start to meet some of these newer designers who, you know, I want to give a bit more attention to versus, you know, like you're saying, the hard hitters, the icons. It's nice to see these
and
new
see how
designers.
what they're bringing to what's going on in film right now, because it is such a,
and it's such a different and then, you know, it's such a different place right now than it would have been like 20, 30, 40 years, like Edith Head. I mean, really. I mean, I'm sure things were not that fun for her, but at the same time, she didn't have the challenges that are going on now that the designers have now.
And, well, she lied her way into the whole industry. So
she was a bit of a grifter. I totally agree with that.
So sometimes you just got to be a showman and you get away with it. You know, but now
they would show her in some, you know, they used to do those behind the scenes sort of like film, like they do a little behind the scenes and they show her sitting at a table like drawing. She didn't draw. No. She could draw for shit. She could draw a little bit. But you know, like that was all made up. She didn't do any of that stuff. The one thing
that's who I thought I was going to be, right? Like you were just
I was going to be Edith Head.
I was going to be Edith Head.
The one thing that she did do that I thought was so cool though was the glasses thing she had the lenses put in it so that she would see black and white. I thought that was really interesting.
I think just knowing and again holding people to task. So no one's going to be your own advocate but you, and so she really learned that. And then competing with people bringing in like, was it Givenchy to design, and she's like, no, I'm still going to win the Oscar for it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's like actually, that is absolutely crazy. I have a really great book actually. It's called Clothes on Film.
Okay.
And it's written by Christopher Laverty, the late Christopher Laverty. And anyways, he has all the designers that have worked on different movies and films over the years, including Givenchy. And so it's really, really interesting to see when the designers like partner with an actor like
Yeah.
they did with like Audrey Hepburn, that type of thing. And then then the costume designer just gets the credit for some reason, which I guess that's just how it works. I don't know. I'm not sure how that.
Well, how it's credited, because it would say, clothes
Mhm.
provided by Halston or Givenchy.
Yeah.
So two things. There's I believe a film coming up that is Dinner with Audrey, which is about Givenchy and Audrey.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'll add that to our list of things to watch.
As opposed to Dinner
And
with Andre, which is an older film.
yeah,
Yes.
maybe different ends of the same spectrum. And then what's I going to say? Oh, I don't know if this is it's on my FYP, so I'm sure it's on yours. The remarks of what's his name? The director of Challengers, about designers versus costume designers, or fashion designers versus costume designers.
Oh, is that going to be a documentary?
No, he just made comments about how it was better to have a fashion designer versus a costume designer, and it's
Sorry, who said that?
Oh gosh.
I'm going to go look that up
amazing.
after.
Yeah.
That is awful.
That's definitely been something that's been going around.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it maybe.
Yeah, well, it's funny because Michelle Clapton, she used to talk about how it's kind of a two-way street. Like costume designers influence fashion designers, and fashion designers influence costume designers, and so it's sort of like it's a bit of a flow that happens. Yeah. Now, there was a situation that I was a little bit annoyed with. Actually, I was a lot annoyed with. In the latest, in Dune Part 2, there was a costume in there that was clearly Paco Rabanne, and they just took it and made it, said it was theirs, and it wasn't. Yeah. Like it was a complete ripoff. Yeah. And they didn't even mention that in an interview or anything. I mean, at least to say this was inspired by Paco Rabanne, and but just to kind of represent it as your own work. I just feel like that shows that you're very, I don't know what the word is, insecure and small when you try to pass off someone else's work as your own work.
Yes.
So I was not impressed by that at all. In fact, it was actually one of my viewers who told me about it after, and I was like, "Oh my God." Yeah. I couldn't believe it. And I've seen this happen before with other designers, but that was
absolutely. And it's one of those things like what costume design is versus fashion design, and then again what we're able to do in a certain amount of time. And everyone has their own objectives. Like I said, going into I had this conversation over the summer with one of my good friends of a contemporary show, and how they were putting the same brands on multiple characters that don't interact. So these people would not be, there's no reason for them to have the same clothes from the same brand. It was just that you like those clothes. So, and to me, like once I find a brand that's a good suit for a contemporary, and you're doing contemporary, that's that person's brand. Now it's burned for anybody else.
Actually, when I was interviewing the designer of Supernatural, that's what she said. She said, Jared Padalecki, these brands, Jensen Ackles, these brands. They're brothers, sure, but they have their own look. And then she said, one V-neck, one round neck. That's burned. No change from that. We never deviate. And none of the background ever wear any of those brands either. That's what. So kind of you create these rules for yourself, which I think is good, especially if you're a buyer.
You have to. You kind of have to make yourself from going crazy. Otherwise, you have all the options. You're throwing all the pasta at the wall, but you just need that one spaghetti to stick.
Yes.
And sometimes it's hard because, say like for a roof man, we reached out to Levi's or whatever to see what they could offer us because we were looking for a very specific time period of jeans. Well, now we have a whole closet full of period specific jeans. I'm going to pull Levi's for background or for another featured background person. So it depends on how you want it featured.
What was the era for that? Because that's based on a true story, right?
True story. I mean, that was just an example, but that was 2003.
Oh, okay. So it's already like 20 years ago. Over
20 years ago, which I did rewatch, and I was like, maybe I would have changed some things in retrospect. But for the most part, it's one of the things I call it a soft 2003, where we're getting the V-necks. He has this beautiful, creepy goatee almost the entire time. So it's there without being overt.
Well, I met my husband over 20 years ago, and he had a goatee, a creepy goatee, and I made him shave it when we got married.
I had it. I still kind of have one. It doesn't really grow, but
I love
it's.
beards, actually. I do. I love beards. I'm a beard. Yeah, no. He actually grows out. He usually grows out a full beard. It wasn't that I didn't have a problem with the beard. He just had a weird goatee, and I was like, dude. And then like this weird thing, like soul patch kind of thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you got to get rid of that. That was like, yeah. So, but it's weird to me because when I think back to 2003, it doesn't seem that long ago to me.
I know.
Because
I know.
it was just
But it's because it's been like so long ago now. We could find things in
yeah,
the store that would fit.
for sure.
But
Yes.
then we were bringing in. We had some younger people coming in, and they could not fathom low rise. Like it just was not on their radar. Like, sorry, you can't bend over.
No,
this is
no.
how your
Or you're
pants
wearing
are
boxers, and then you got
supposed
like you got this divide between the boxers and or the boxer briefs and the low rise. I have to say that was a really terrible time for me.
Oh, I had a lot of fun.
My
I'm gonna
body
say.
does not accommodate low rise. Like it just doesn't work for me. I'm going to let Jed go, but I just want to say, so Jed and I are talking about, hopefully we can either, if we don't get it done by the end of the year, we could even just do it early in the new year, but we want to talk about, maybe do some highlights of what happened in the last year, just to sort of go off. Because I'm really excited for next year. There's some really great shows coming out next year.
Well,
I
I was thinking we could do
Yeah.
the nominations for the CDG Awards just came out.
Oh, yes.
So
That's
it
a
kind
great
of like
idea.
a recap of
Mhm.
those nominations and then a look forward of like what we're looking forward to in the next year. So we could kind of do a retrospect and a
Okay,
perspective
let's
at
do
the
that.
same time.
Hopefully everyone likes that idea. By the way, Slechy is asking, oh, Jed, did you channel a 70s rock look at all? He wants to know if you ever did that, or
in the early 2000s?
Well,
Or just in
anytime.
general?
Did you ever rock
Well,
a 70s
I
look
just
at
got rid
all?
of my mullet. I had a mullet all
It's the best.
year before last. I think I had a mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would look good with it. You would look good at with anything though. You're so
I don't know
handsome.
about
So I
that.
think
I don't know. Thank
no,
you.
it's
Very
so
kind.
true. You are. Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Laura's only worked on Britney Spears.
I truly like, and this is I am also following someone who's going through every Britney Spears look in a retrospective on TikTok, and it's just so funny. Like looking back at that time, I just thought that was normal. That shape was normal on a human
Yeah.
being, but it was made for her. Like it
Uh-huh.
just is so well fit to her proportions,
Absolutely.
and it without ever seeming to me in my pubescent homosexual eyes as being vulgar in any way. It was just the dance look, or it's just crazy how easily you
And what about
become.
the denim patchwork suit? Is
I
she the one who
mean,
did the denim?
yeah,
The denim
with the
patchwork
matching
suit?
one with Justin.
The
It was
matchy
perfect.
denim, because
Yes.
you would never do a matchy jacket and pants.
Well, we call it the
Yeah.
Canadian tuxedo, so I don't know how you feel
Canadian
about
tuxedo, exactly. Well, and then we have this thing called the Sudbury dinner jacket, which is a buffalo check jacket that people wear up in Canada. It's called the Sudbury dinner jacket.
And is that
Sudbury,
with your fleece, or is that?
it's a fleece. Yeah, it's a fleece or a wool.
lined?
Yeah, and you wear it in the winter. Sometimes you layer it, and
Beautiful.
some people wear it under a denim jacket or over a denim. Anyway, it's called the Sudbury dinner jacket. Sudbury is like sort of like a steel town in Ontario, or like not a steel town, like a mining town.
Yeah.
So it's the mining town dinner jacket. But it's just buffalo check. It's so funny. But yeah, a Canadian tuxedo.
And where I'm from, it's Florida, and so that's the opposite, where it's if you're wearing shoes and shirt, you may get service. Like that's the normal thing.
Or what about if you have a T-shirt with a tie printed on it? Can you get into it?
That's fine. Above and beyond.
Sir, really. You need a tie. Well, I have one. It's printed on my shirt.
Right here.
Exactly. Well, anyways, this was so much fun. I always love having you on. It always makes my day.
Love being here.
Makes the rest of my day go so beautifully, by the way, because I'm always like, I come off my high of hanging out with
We're going to
Jed.
watch our Dead Man's, what's it called? The new
by the way, what do you think of Daniel Craig's new hairstyle?
Love it. Love it.
Do you like it?
Love it.
Yeah?
I hate it. I love it.
By the way, have you ever seen, I didn't even know this was him until years later. Have you ever seen Moll Flanders with Alex Kingston? It's like an
Oh, no, I never saw that.
It's like a mini series, like a 4 or 5 part mini series.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's in it, And I didn't know it was him
And he
because
was a
he's wearing
baby.
like as you know, it's like takes place in the 17th century or
Mhm.
something. So he's got one of those long black wigs, but the one thing I remembered is his eyes because he's got the bluest of
Beautiful,
blue
yeah.
eyes, right? Anyway, I remember seeing that movie and that show. I was like, who is that guy? And then it wasn't until years later that I figured out it was Daniel Craig. So he
He
did
really surprised
okay.
us all.
He did okay.
He
He
did
went on
okay.
to do
He did
okay.
okay.
He
Yeah.
married Rachel Weisz. You know what?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
she's all right.
She's all right.
She's somewhat
Speaking
attractive.
of, maybe Mummy 3, Mummy 4.
I heard they might do that. I heard
Very
they might do
excited
that,
about that.
actually. That's kind of fun.
Very
Anyway,
excited
yeah,
about
so
it.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be a fun series, I think. If hopefully it keeps going and they'll keep doing these
And
Knives Out
again, it
series.
just these callback to older movies that we don't get to experience anymore. So the murder mystery back, our Gothic tales back, and our rom-coms coming back.
And I actually I have a nice memory with my mom because my mom passed away a couple of years ago. But one of my nice memories is I took my mom to see Knives Out, the original, in the theater. So we went to the theater. That was the last time we went to the theater together. So it's a nice memory for me to have of that. So yeah, it's one of those shows you can watch over and over again, I think.
Yeah, and with everybody. It's like a perfect holiday.
And the turtleneck that Chris Evans wears oh my God, that turtleneck that he wears in the original.
The turtleneck of a villain.
Creamy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yes, I know. Actually, that was good because that sort of subverted my expectations with that turtleneck. Because I'm like, there's no way a villain would wear that turtleneck.
But apparently it was ratty, right? Like it's been worn a lot.
Oh, it had? Okay.
Yeah, so that's the trick with that one. Like it's a very cozy, comfy, but it's old because it doesn't have any money.
And that's true. That's the giveaway.
It's a little bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, because with those, like a lot of times, if men have like a beard, like I'm wearing a turtleneck.
Oh, I can't wear one at all. Like I have
it gets all worn out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I want to thank everyone who came by today. And if you're watching this on your phone, I'm trying out this new thing where it's a different aspect ratio. So let me know if you watch this on your phone in the comments. And if you like that new aspect ratio, I will continue to do it because Jed and I unfortunately have to look at ourselves on two different screens. It's kind of weird.
We're double.
We're double. It's like we haven't even had a cocktail yet.
And then leave a comment on what you're looking forward to for next year.
Yeah. Let us know, and then we can try and cover that. Well, I have like House of the Dragon. I have a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
That's so much.
So much good stuff coming out. I'm really excited. And then I think there's a Doom Part 3 coming out. So anyway, lots of good stuff. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jed, for joining me as always.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing you either at the end of the year or in the new year.
Likewise. Have a good holiday, everyone.
Okay, bye, everybody.